Yah Scriptures, the second book of Adam and Hawwah, Adam and Eve 2, chapter 1. When Luluah heard Cain's words, she wept and went to call her father and mother and told them how Cain had killed his brother Hevel. Then they all cried aloud and lifted up their voices and slapped their faces and threw dust upon their heads and ripped their garments apart and went out and came to the place where Hevel was killed. And they found him lying on the earth, killed, and beasts were around him. They wept and cried because he was a just person. Because his body was pure, from it went forth a smell of sweet spices. And Adam carried him as Adam's tears streaming down his face, and he went to the cave of treasures, where he laid Hevel, and Adam wound him up with sweet spices and myrrh. And Adam and Hawwah continued in great grief by the burial site for 140 days. Hevel was 15.5 years old, and Cain 17 years and a half. When the mourning for his brother was ended, Cain took his sister Luluah and married her without permission from his father and mother. Because of their heavy hearts, they could not keep him from her. He then went down to the foot of the mountain away from the garden, near the place where he had killed his brother. And in that place were many fruit trees and forest trees. His sister gave birth to his children, who, in their turn, began to multiply by degrees until they filled that place. But Adam and Hawwah did not come together for 7 years after Hevel's funeral. After this, however, Hawwah conceived, and while she was with child, Adam said to her, "Come, let us take an offering and offer it up unto Elohim, and ask him to give us a beautiful child, in whom we may find comfort, in whom we may join in marriage to Hevel's sister." Then they prepared an offering and brought it up to the altar and offered it before Yahweh and began to ask him to accept their offering and to give them a good offspring. And Elohim heard Adam and accepted his offering. Then Adam, Hawwah, and their daughter worshipped and came down to the cave of treasures and placed a lamp in it by the body of Hevel to burn by the body night and day. Then Adam and Hawwah continued fasting and praying until Hawwah's time came that she should be delivered, when she said to Adam, "I wish to go to the cave in the rock to give birth in it." And he said, "Go and take your daughter with you to wait on you, but I will remain in this cave of treasures before the body of my son Hevel." Then Hawwah listened to Adam, and she and her daughter left, but Adam remained by himself in the cave of treasures. The second book of Adam and Hawwah, Adam and Eve 2, chapter 2. And Hawwah gave birth to a son, perfectly beautiful in form and in demeanor. His beauty was like that of his father Adam, yet more beautiful. Then Hawwah was comforted when she saw him, and remained 8 days in the cave. Then she sent her daughter unto Adam to tell him to come and see the child and name him. But the daughter stayed in his place by the body of her brother until Adam returned. But when Adam came and saw the child's good looks, his beauty, and his perfect form, he rejoiced over him and was comforted for Hevel. Then he named the child Sheth, which means, "That Elohim has heard my prayer and has delivered me out of my affliction." But it means also power and strength. Then after Adam had named the child, he returned to the cave of treasures, and his daughter went back to her mother. But Hawwah continued in her cave until 40 days were fulfilled, when she came to Adam and brought with her the child and her daughter. And they came to a river of water, where Adam and his daughter washed themselves because of their sorrow for Hevel. But Hawwah and the babe washed for purification. Then they returned and took an offering and went to the mountain and offered it up for the babe. And Elohim accepted their offering and sent his berakah upon them and upon their son Sheth, and they came back to the cave of treasures. As for Adam, he did not have intercourse again with his wife Hawwah all the days of his life. Neither was any more offspring born of them, but only those 5, Cain, Luluah, Hevel, Achliah, and Sheth alone. But Sheth waxed in stature and in strength, and began to fast and pray fervently. The second book of Adam and Hawwah, Adam and Eve 2, chapter 3. At the end of 7 years from the day Adam had been separated from his wife Hawwah, Satan envied him, and when he saw Adam was separated from her, Satan strove to make him live with her again. Then Adam arose and went up above the cave of treasures, and continued to sleep there night by night. But every day, as soon as it was light, he came down to the cave to pray there and to receive a berakah from it. But when it was evening, he went up on the top of the cave, where he slept by himself, fearing that Satan could overcome him. And he continued apart in this way for 39 days. Then when Satan, the hater of all that is good, saw Adam alone, fasting and praying, he appeared unto him in the form of a beautiful woman, who came and stood in front of him in the night of the 40th day, and said to him, Adam, from the time you have dwelt in this cave, we have experienced great peace from you, and your prayers have reached us, and we have been comforted because of you. But now, Adam, that you have gone up over the roof of the cave to sleep, we have had doubts about you, and a great sorrow has come upon us because of your separation from Hawwah. Then again, when you are on the roof of this cave, your prayer is poured out, and your heart wanders from side to side. But when you were in the cave, your prayer was like fire gathered together. It came down to us, and you found rest. Then I also worried over your children who are separated from you, and my sorrow is great about the murder of your son Havel, because he was righteous, and over a righteous man everyone will grieve. But I rejoiced over the birth of your son Sheth. But after a little while I sorrowed greatly over Hawwah, because she is my sister. For when Elohim sent a deep sleep over you and drew her out of your side, he brought me out with her. But he raised her by placing her with you, while he lowered me. I rejoiced over my sister for her being with you, but Elohim had made me a promise before and said, Do not grieve when Adam has gone up on the roof of the cave of treasures and is separated from Hawwah his wife. I will send you to him, and you shall join yourself to him in marriage, and bear 5 children for him, as Hawwah gave him 5 children. And now, look! Elohim's promise to me is fulfilled, because it is he who has sent me to you for the wedding. Because if you wed me, I shall bear you finer and better children than those of Hawwah. You are still young. Do not end your youth in this world in sorrow. Spend the days of your youth in happiness and pleasure. Your days are few, and your trials have been great. Be strong and end your days in this world in rejoicing. I shall take pleasure in you, and you shall rejoice with me in this way and without fear. Get up and fulfill the command of your Elohim. She then came near Adam and embraced him. But when Adam saw that he was going to be overcome by her, he prayed to Elohim with a fervent heart to deliver him from her. Then Elohim sent his word to Adam, saying, Adam, that apparition is the one that promised you the Almighty and Majesty. He does not intend good for you, but shows himself to you at one time in the form of a woman, and in another moment in the likeness of a messenger, and on other occasions in the apparition of a serpent, and at another time in the semblance of a Elohim. But he does all of this only to destroy your soul. Adam, now that you understand this in your heart, you will see that I have delivered you many a time from his hands, in order to show you that I am a merciful Elohim. I want your good, and I do not want your ruin. The second book of Adam and Hawwah, Adam and Eve 2, chapter 4. Then Elohim ordered Satan to show himself to Adam in his own hideous form, plainly. But when Adam saw him, he feared and trembled at the sight of him. And Elohim said to Adam, Look at this devil and at his hideous sight, and know that he it is who made you fall from brightness into darkness, from peace and rest to toil and misery. And look at him, Adam. He is the one who said that he is Elohim. Can Elohim be dark? Would Elohim take the form of a woman? Is there anyone stronger than Elohim? And can he be overpowered? See, Adam, look at him bound in your presence, in the air, unable to flee away. So I say to you, do not be afraid of him. From now on, take care and beware of him. He will try to do things to you. Then Elohim drove Satan away from Adam, and Elohim strengthened Adam's heart and comforted him, saying, Go down to the cave of treasures, and do not separate yourself from Hawwah. I will quiet all of your animal lust. From that hour it left Adam and Hawwah, and they enjoyed rest by the commandment of Elohim. But Elohim did not do the same to any of Adam's seed. Elohim did this only to Adam and Hawwah. Then Adam worshipped before Yahweh for delivering him and for having subdued his passions. And he came down from above the cave and lived with Hawwah as had done before. This ended the 40 days of his separation from Hawwah.